Good morning, good afternoon, guys. We're back for another Geek Tavern. As always, it's me, Sean, and I'm joined by Mike.
Yo.
And Aaron.
Yeah.
And,
I guess that's a greeting.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, what the hell is that?
I almost burped for a second, so it kind of like stopped me from...
Yeah, so Aaron and I got to watch Freaky at the theater. It's the only movie I've seen in the theater in a long time.
We also watched Blade Runner.
Oh, that's right. We watched Blade Runner.
Which is one of the best movies.
Still holds up.
I wanted to see that one. I couldn't even get to the first one.
No, the first one's like boring.
Yeah,
like I fell asleep immediately.
It's so boring.
Which I have trouble with.
The first one is beautiful. It's a masterpiece as far as visual like storytelling goes, but nothing happens.
Yeah, it's incredibly boring.
It's all flash, no substance.
But Freaky was fun.
Yeah.
Freaky was very
If
fun,
you don't know what it is, it's...
Well, thanks Black Friday for
ruining that
for me.
Yeah, it's like a take on the Freaky Friday where it's a body swap thing and a serial killer gets swapped with a high school girl and
and Vince Vaughn plays a high school girl.
Yeah,
it's hilarious. Yeah.
Well, I
really
assume
really
it's
fun.
the same kind of hilarious as like Jack Black in Jumanji.
Yeah.
Like,
it is. It's very much that same type of comedy, but Vince Vaughn does a really good job at
I
doing
feel like
that.
he would, yeah.
Because he like runs around in a dirty t-shirt for like the entire movie. And it's just hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't know he was such a fucking tall guy either.
Oh yeah, he's gigantic.
Yeah.
I told you guys, like when we're watching the movie, you're like, holy shit, he's tall. I'm like, dude's like 6'3". I'm like, Vince Vaughn is like one of the tallest men in Hollywood.
Yeah, he's huge. Well, other than that, I didn't really watch anything in the meantime.
Was it good?
It was good.
Oh, yeah, it was very good.
I would definitely go see it.
Yeah, Blumhouse kills it with their horror comedies.
Okay.
It's directed by the same guy that made the Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You.
Okay.
So that's kind
Which
of
are also really good.
it's kind of like that's what his shtick is. He takes like an idea that is done in other movies, like for Happy Death Day, it's the Groundhog Day thing, reliving a day over and over again. Except they make it a horror movie, and in this case, it's the Freaky Friday thing, except they make it a horror movie. So if he makes another one, I wonder what whatever shtick he'll...
It's not even like...
Time travel.
That's what I was thinking.
It's not even like...
It's a horror comedy.
Yeah, it's horror comedy.
Yeah,
it's not like Friday the 13th, like it's straight up slasher, buckets of blood, like shit like that. I mean, it's meant to be like funny, scary. Like you're supposed to have a good time while you're watching it.
Yeah, I definitely recommend all three of those movies.
Yeah.
I think they're great.
All right, well, you blew all three of your recommendations.
Yeah.
Jot that down, Mike.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Yeah, for the next three recommendations.
Until the end of the year, you are cut off from recommending movies.
And as always, we've been keeping up with The Mandalorian.
And all things Star Wars.
Yes. So, I guess...
And we'll start with...
And like Attack of the Clones, the second episode is just filler.
When this will be released, there will be another episode, but as we're recording this, obviously, we have not seen the fourth episode.
Yeah, only episode
for
3
anybody
right
that's
now.
wondering.
So we can just talk about episode 2 or chapter 10, I guess I should say, because nothing really happens in it.
No.
It's extremely action heavy. Like, I feel
it's a good episode, but nothing further.
Nothing big happens.
I feel like this was to like meet their action quota, because I know a lot of people like the show because of like the story and like the lore behind the Mandalorian and whatever.
Yeah.
But this is literally like almost nonstop action.
Mm-hmm.
It's him flying in space, flying away from the X-Wings. And then it's him on the planet. And then he has to fight the spiders that come out. And then the Republic guys kill the spiders and all that. And then that's basically what the whole fucking...
Yeah, they let him go.
Yeah.
That's literally the entire plot summarized for that. And
as per usual, the Mandalorian is set on his video game side quest for the escort mission of Frog Lady with her eggs to whatever planet. I don't even remember.
Yeah, it wasn't a Mon Calamari planet.
No,
but
it's a brand new planet, I think.
Yeah, but it was like heavily populated by Mon Calamari.
Yeah.
And what's the other species?
It begins with a Q. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but
and they all wear cable knit sweaters.
Yeah, that was so weird.
Oh, so fun bit of trivia. I don't know if either of you guys know this. From Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
The actress who plays Iden Versio, Janina Gavankar.
Yeah.
She helped puppeteer that Mon Calamari that repairs the ship.
Oh.
Because like she was like, I forget how it happened, but I read it and they were like, "Hey, do you want to like help puppeteer the thing?" And she's like, "Oh, fuck yeah!" like in an interview, that's how she said. She's like,
loves.
"Oh, fuck yeah!" Like I want to puppeteer the Mon Calamari.
She loves Star Wars.
Oh yeah, she's a huge.
That's
fan.
great.
And obviously, we had some non-controversy over the internet following that, where Baby Yoda was genociding that lady's eggs.
Yeah,
he got canceled.
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah, I don't know.
So were people actually mad about that?
I'm sure that there were like some people that were like,
yeah,
like actually like, I can't believe that. Because if you think about it,
I mean, I had to stop for a second and be like, "Holy shit!" He's like,
the first time you're like, "Oh," but then like he does it like 3 more times, and you're like, "Okay."
By the last time,
like it was funny and like shocking the first time, and you're just kind of like, "He ate it." But then he does it like 3 more times, and you're like, "Okay, like you can stop now."
Yeah, like that's the whole point.
You almost felt like if you were Mando, you'd be like, "Stop! She's gonna notice you're eating her freaking kid." Like,
yeah, I mean, like,
you want this
for
woman,
real.
this frog lady, I don't know.
But I mean, they established he eats frogs.
That's true.
That's the thing that bothers me the most is that she didn't notice.
No.
Like,
right.
4 or 5 of her eggs were just fucking missing. But
Yeah.
whatever. And that's pretty much the end of that episode. The Mandalorian's Razor Crest is fucking destroyed, and he has to get that repaired in Chapter 11, which was, I think, better than Chapter 10, but still not as good as Chapter 9.
Chapter 9 is really good.
Yeah, it's
This has a lot of callbacks.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
And a lot of fan service, which is nice. But yeah, it's not as good as Chapter 9.
Yeah, so he makes it to the planet, and it also, another thing that's really stupid is he's going to that planet because supposedly that frog's husband knows where the Mandalorians are, but whenever they get there, he's like, yeah, just whatever, go ask in the bar. Like, he doesn't even...
Yeah.
He
doesn't really know where they are.
Yeah, he doesn't fulfill his end of the fucking bargain.
Yeah.
So he goes in, and he has to pay somebody else for information about where the Mandalorians are. And as always, it's a seedy trap where people try and betray the Mandalorian so that they can get the bounty on the kid or steal his Beskar armor.
Yeah.
And
which didn't see that coming, to be honest.
I wasn't really expecting it, and then whenever they were acting really shady before they opened up that thing, and I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Well, I didn't understand why, like, maybe the kid wants to see it or whatever he says, and I'm like, why would he care?
Yeah, he wants to see it eat or whatever. Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
And then the other Mandalorians come and save the day the first time, and then they come and save the day a second time.
But wait, let's talk about who these Mandalorians are.
Yes.
Yeah, so it wasn't until she said her name I was like, oh. Because as I've said, I'm sure on here before, like, I haven't watched, like, hardly any Clone Wars, any Rebels at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I was like, I don't know who these people are.
Oh, and Sasha Banks makes her...
yeah. I mean, I obviously knew who she was.
One of the Mandalorians. I forget what her name was, but...
I really thought she was going to be, what's her name?
Sabine?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what a lot of people were thinking.
Because her hair is literally the color of Sabine.
I imagine that...
not anymore.
Yeah, not in this show.
It's just her normal brown
hair. But when she returned to WWE from... filming, her hair was Sabine's color.
Oh, wow.
So, like, I think she did that to throw people off. Actually.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if Sabine will be in the next episode, considering what they say at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Well, we're skipping ahead a little bit.
Because we're not. I mean, people have probably seen it, so let's just jump into it.
Yeah, because, like, I don't think that we're gonna see. I said to you and Josh on Sunday, I really don't think we're gonna see it this coming episode.
Well, that's true.
I feel like that's gonna be something that needs to.
It has to be
towards the finale.
Supposedly,
like 5 or 6.
Well, it has to be 5 for seeing Ahsoka Tano, because
At least seeing her,
because that one's directed by Dave Filoni.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The next episode is directed by Carl Weathers, so we might just get an episode of him and Gina Carano on that planet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it might just be like completely unrelated to what the Mandalorian's doing right now.
Yeah, it's pretty much probably going to be a trip to get there.
Yeah, another filler episode.
I saw that coming just because they said that oh hey, you have to go to wherever. Excuse me, you have to go to wherever to find out where the other Mandalorians are, and then they show you Boba Fett at the end of the first episode, and everyone's like, "Oh, no, that's gonna be the second episode." Then the second episode's just filler.
We're 3 episodes in at this point. I don't think we're seeing Boba Fett again.
No, I don't
think
so either.
No,
I'm pretty sure they did that to backdoor pilot him a show.
Yeah.
Which is kind of
which
fucking lame.
Which they are doing that. But
I mean, I'll watch it obviously, but
but
we're not seeing him.
We didn't illuminate who the Mandalorians were just yet. They were remnants.
We instead started talking about Ahsoka Tano, another Clone Wars character.
Yeah, they're remnants of Mandalore that are, I guess. I don't know right now. I guess is it the Empire that has control over Mandalore now? Because I thought they were liberated at the end of Clone Wars.
No, they were.
Yeah.
And then they weren't again, and then they were in Rebels, and now they aren't again. Now they have.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So it's just like a back and forth problem.
Yes. Yeah. Like Mandalore is in constant, a constant state of fluctuation over who rules them.
Yeah.
Like just holy God! Like just pick somebody and let's not have a war.
So it's America with Democrats and Republicans.
Wow. That could be a whole other thing. But no, I mean it is kind of like.
Just back and forth.
Yeah, it's a back and forth constant war between who has it, which of course there is an heir to the throne who has been fighting for decades to try to get it back, and she succeeds like twice and somehow loses again. So this is like the 3rd time that Bo-Katan of Clan Kryze is trying to take back Mandalore.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, too, how they are a part of the sect that doesn't give a shit about keeping your helmet on all the time. So whenever they remove their helmets the first time and he's like, where did you get that armor? Expecting them not to be Mandalorians. And she's like, this has been in my family for like 7 generations.
Which is weird because like, even in the Clone Wars, I get it. It's cool. Like
they're basically, he's a descendant of Death Watch.
Yes,
yeah.
but Watch... you even said, Vizsla takes his helmet off.
Yeah.
Who was the founder of Death Watch.
I guess after he was killed by Darth Maul or whatever, they adapted the way that they do things where they're like, all right, we're just not going to take our helmets off ever again.
Yeah.
But which is weird because, as we have seen in the Clone Wars, members of Death Watch take their helmets off. Even in Rebels, they take their helmets off.
Yeah.
But do we think he'll eventually adopt their way?
I doubt it.
I didn't think so either.
Yeah. I was waiting for them to be like, you realize you're part of like a cult, right? Like maybe you should not be that way.
I mean, they respect his way of doing things, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, after they corner him and they're like, come on, come have a drink.
Well, that's the thing. Is he recognizes them not as Mandalorians and he leaves, and then the one guy's like, hey, you killed my brother. Yeah. And he's like, I don't, like, he tried to kill me. Like, what do you expect? And then the Mandalorians have to come and save him again. Which I guess he probably didn't need their help. But, you got saved by them twice in the same episode in the span of, 10 minutes.
Yeah. I think that's why he was like, okay, I guess you're not all bad.
Yeah.
Or bad at all, really. But...
And then they're obviously stealing weapons from an Imperial ship that is there that
because
has been
looking for the Darksaber.
Yeah, and that's her primary objective is looking for the Darksaber. But they've been stealing things from Mandalorian, like pawning it off on this planet. So That's why they're there.
And she knows that Gideon has it, so I can't wait to see a confrontation go down between her and Gideon, or somebody and Gideon, in order to get the Darksaber back.
Yeah, it'll be nice to know how he got it, because the last time we saw it, well, Sabine had it, I believe, or no, she had it.
Sabine gave it back to
Bo-Katan. Yeah, so I'm wondering how she got it. Huh. I'm sure that'll be illuminated for us.
I would, yeah.
Maybe she's not fit to rule Mandalore.
Maybe not.
She keeps losing the Darksaber to these inferior, more like these people who should not be in control of it. Like, come on, how many times are you gonna lose the Darksaber to somebody?
It was pretty cool seeing Katie Sackhoff reprise her role though as Bo-Katan.
Yes, and I was watching an interview with her yesterday.
She voiced her.
Yeah, in the Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
She is like a super fan as well, because, well, as you know, she's in like Battlestar Galactica and all sorts of sci-fi stuff. Because she said in the interview that that's what she was raised on. Like, her dad was a huge sci-fi Star Wars fan and like got her into it. So when she got to play Bo-Katan back in the mid 2000s, it was like end of the 2000s.
Was she in the movie?
No, she wasn't in the movie.
Okay.
I don't think that there were any Mandalorians in the Clone Wars movie. But when she got to play when she got to play that character, she was like really excited. And then she said that when she said she was talking to Dave Filoni somewhere, wherever they were, and she said something to him because he was working on Mandalorian season 2. And she's like, so what are the chances of Bo-Katan coming in? And he's like, you never know. And like, he just left it at that. And then he called her and was like, hey, why don't you come have a talk with me and John about, season 2? And she like said she freaked out, like was just absolutely elated to go in and talk. And Jon Favreau was like, do you want to do this? And she's like, yeah. Like,
let me think about that. Yes.
That's one thing that is kind of funny to me. It's like whenever anybody is asked, hey, do you want to be a part of this Star Wars project?
The answer is always yes. Who is turning that down? Toshiro Mifune.
Yeah, well,
that's
a different story.
Didn't Leo turn it down?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, so did Tupac.
Well,
okay.
Don't you know that?
Yeah, I do know that, but
I don't know if I know that story.
Could have saved him.
It might have.
Just saying.
But so they successfully steal all the weapons and
the ship.
Shocker, don't find the Darksaber.
Yeah. That's a pretty nifty scene though, whenever they're talking to Gideon on the hologram and he's like, you know what you have to do. And he's like, yep. And then just starts to fucking nosedive.
He kills the pilots first.
Yeah.
And then he goes and nosedive the ship.
And I think the pilots knew what was coming.
Yeah.
Like, they knew that they were gonna, well, they probably thought they were gonna be asked to do it, but then
it's like, I'm not taking chances.
The commander's like, nope, dead.
Well, because like they were already gonna not take his order when he's like, okay, he's like, climb, and they're like, we can't, we're still in the harbor zone. He's like, I said climb, and then he's like, okay.
Yeah.
So at that point, he was like, I'm not giving you that order because you're not gonna do it.
So yeah, now, yeah.
No. So then Bo-Katan tells Mando to go to some planet that I've already forgot the name of. Where he'll find Ahsoka Tano, and for him to deliver the child to her. Which everyone was like, we're gonna see her in the next episode, and I'm like, no, you're not. No, you are not gonna see her.
It would be very shocking.
Watch us all be proven wrong.
I know.
It's just like, nope. She's in there, and everyone's like, okay.
So I think I said this to both of you. So if he takes the child to Ahsoka Tano, and he's like, okay, here you go. Here's another Jedi in training. That's like the end, isn't it?
Well, I know that's...
Yeah. That's the end of it, So, like, I saw a meme earlier.
So something's got to go down.
Where it was Mando, but it was Rey with the lightsaber. And he like handed the child, and Ahsoka just like eats it over her shoulder.
We forgot to mention that this was another side quest episode where Bo-Katan's like, I'll tell you what you need, but you have to do this for me.
Oh, yeah.
So every video game thing is happening. This is just a video game filmed professionally and put on the TV.
So
on a big budget.
The main story mode in this game was season 1, which even had its own side story.
Oh, yeah.
But like this one's super side story.
Oh, yeah. This one is like every episode is just... Which, I mean, it's filmed like a Western serial.
Yeah.
It's very episodic. Excuse me. Each episode has its own story in itself, which is nice. Because that's what Star Wars was supposed to be originally. It's an episodic story. It's not just like bing, 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 bing. Like everything is like, okay, remember this, like this happened. Let's remember that while we go do this. And it's like, no, everything has its own story. It all feels like its own short movie.
Yeah.
Each time, which is nice.
It is kind of lame that the episodes have been getting shorter and shorter as
they started off with
season
one.
goes on.
And last week's was 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that
didn't feel that short though.
No, it didn't.
That was par for the course. With the majority of the first season too, they were generally 30 minutes long, around 30 minutes long. So,
yeah, I don't know what the longest one was. I forget, but
yeah, we got spoiled.
The season finale.
Yeah, probably
was the longest one.
Yeah. We got spoiled with the season opener this time with a 50-minute long.
Yeah.
Recap.
Well, still the
previously
best.
On the Mandalorian.
Still the best episode out of this season, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, the first episode was really good.
Well, I'm excited to see where it goes from here. I guess it'll probably be 2 episodes by the time we'll film the next episode. So
roughly, it should be the next 2 on the next one.
So I guess we'll talk about those when we get there, and we'll.
This will be a good discussion because that's probably going to be a big meat of the season.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We'll forego our ratings as we did with the last one, so we can just rate the whole season as a whole. I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And then
we'll probably just do again. I like to brainstorm on the podcast, but we could probably just do a whole episode where we talk about this season.
We could do that,
probably,
if you wanted to.
And then tune in next year when we do our podcast of which episodes are better or worse than episode 9. In which we go through both seasons, episode by episode, and rank them at the end. Okay, so chapter 11. Yeah, better than episode 9.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, staying on the track of Star Wars.
Yeah.
There was a...
in continuity with episode 9.
Yeah. There was a Life Day special. And just came out today, actually, as our per recording.
Yeah.
A Lego holiday special. And it was cute.
Have any of us actually watched the original holiday special the whole way through?
No, I mean, I've seen, like, breakdown reviews of it, but I've never watched it.
My memory serves me that I have. But my memory also fails me in remembering what the hell even happens.
Chewbacca's grandpa watches porn. That's about it.
There's like a weird, like, unrelated, like, dance thing.
Is there?
That happens? Yeah.
In the original?
Mm-hmm.
I blocked that out entirely.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure there's a ton that I don't remember.
Carrie Fisher sings a song at the end. And then, what's the other thing? Oh, there's a whole, like, animated midsection.
Oh, right,
where
yeah.
Boba Fett is
that's Boba Fett's introduction.
Yeah.
Is in the holiday special.
Yeah.
Oof.
How far we've come.
Oh, God. So yeah, like that. George Lucas went on record saying that if he could track down every bootleg tape of the Star Wars Holiday Special, he would smash them all individually with a hammer.
I don't even know.
Now, I'm sure, like, was it ABC or CBS that...
I think it was ABC.
Yeah, I think it was ABC that, like, contracted him to do this holiday special. And I think he just did it because, well, one, he didn't expect Star Wars to become a cultural phenomenon like it did.
So was this was right after 4 then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, like, we really didn't know anything. Like, they didn't know anything at the time.
No, this is actually the
No wonder everybody
in
thinks
between 4 and 5.
No wonder everybody thinks 5's so good. Because they're coming off
because they watch 4, then they watch Holiday Special, and then they're like, oh, okay, much better. But anyway, we're not talking about that one. We're talking about the Lego Holiday Special, which is better. Worlds better.
Yeah.
I feel like, just to revert back to the original for a moment.
Oh, do we have to?
I feel like George Lucas has always been a weird filmmaker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I feel like this is where he was just flexing his weird fucking filmmaking. He's like, oh, whatever, let's fucking make some weird shit. And then he did, and everyone was like, what in the fuck is this?
And then he had B. Arthur have a cantina. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Anyway, back to the present
one.
Present day Lego holiday special.
Yes.
Wait, did we get a hold of the stone, the crystal? Is that why we keep jumping back?
Yeah. We keep portaling in.
So I must say that whoever voiced Rey in this did a pretty good job.
Did a really good job.
Like there were points where I was like, okay, that is noticeably not Daisy Ridley.
I mean, we
But,
I was under the impression that they got everyone to voice their characters.
Yeah, not at all.
I feel like I read that in an article somewhere, and apparently I didn't.
I was under that impression as well.
The person that voices Rey is Helen Sadler.
Helen, you did a very good job as being Daisy Ridley.
Who played Jyn Erso?
Jyn Erso.
In the first Battlefront. She did her voice in that.
Oh, okay.
She's been on like NCIS, blah, blah, blah. She does a voice in Squadrons of Havina Von Reg. I haven't played it, so I don't know.
She's Imperial, I believe.
She does a voice in The Old Republic.
I guess she's heavily tied to Star Wars then.
She's done a lot of Star Wars. She does Jyn Erso in Star Wars Forces of Destiny.
Oh, it's that
some like the female.
Yeah, the female-led Disney XD show or something like that.
Oh, okay.
They're all shorts.
Yeah,
she's done. Yeah, crazy amounts of Star Wars. She did. She's credited as a voice talent for Battlefront 2, but it doesn't say who. So
might be Rey.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah,
I mean, for the most part, the voice actors did a pretty good job.
Yeah, the guy doing the Billy D. Williams impression, spot on.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
he landed it.
he really landed it.
Oh no! What have I done?
No. All jokes aside, that really was Billy D. Williams.
Yeah,
and Anthony Daniels as C-3PO.
So the one that did, not that Obi-Wan had a lot of lines, but that's the guy that does the voice.
Yeah, James
normally,
Taylor,
right?
Yeah, he voiced Obi-Wan all through Clone Wars.
Yeah,
he didn't voice him in Rebels. That was Steven Stanton.
Is Matt Lanter?
Yeah,
yes,
that's Anakin.
He's normally Anakin.
Yes,
because he did Anakin and Rodian. I don't know who that was.
The Rodian was. It's the one that said McClunky. You were out of the room when
it
happened.
Yeah. McClunky.
Yeah. Because Sean rewound it. He's like, "Did you see that shit?"
I saw you.
I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah, because they invite a bunch of people to come to their festival, and then I don't remember who comes in first, but then a Rodian comes in and he's like, McClunky, and I was like, I literally can't believe they made a joke out of that.
I mean, I'm glad that, they made a lot of jokes.
Yeah,
the series, like
a lot of
what there was all the stuff when was it Kylo Ren was talking to Emperor Palpatine. He's like, you get thrown down a reactor shaft, and don't come back from that.
There's no coming back.
There's no coming back from that. And then they like look at the camera.
I love that stuff. I don't care.
There's a lot of great visual comedy too with the Legos, which has always been the case because for a very long time the Lego, medium was simply visual. There was no audio to it until
the original Star Wars Lego game.
There's no dialogue.
Yeah, and it only started, and I think even the one after the Lego Indiana
Batman
Jones
2, I think, was the first one.
And then, so that lends to a lot of visual comedy, which was pretty funny. Like,
Yeah, like when you get
Like-
shot and then you explode, pieces you over.
Whenever
God.
Rey took her helmet or her hair off, whenever she fell in the swamp in the Dagobah, and then she like shook it out and put it back on.
Well,
Or-
I think it fell off,
Yeah.
and then she shook it off.
or like Kylo Ren spinning around.
That was my favorite.
That was so funny.
Yeah, with the helmet spinning around his head.
He's like,
and
wee!
swamps.
He's like, okay, now here's the plan. Wee!
Yeah.
He's like spinning around.
And with his voice effect, it's so funny.
Oh yeah, like distorted.
That was my I think that's probably my favorite part too.
So Kylo Ren was voiced by Matthew Wood. I don't know that name.
Matthew Wood plays General Grievous.
Okay, that's why
He's
they
also the sound guy on
Oh.
the sequel. I remember. We were
Yeah,
just talking
yeah.
about it. We were literally just talking about this the other day.
See, I'm bad with people's names.
He was-
I guess the Grievous picture should have gave it away.
Matthew Wood's a good Kylo Ren.
He was.
That's
I
cool,
mean,
too.
whenever he had
did
the
Dio too. In this.
Oh wow! I wonder if he voiced Dio in.
apparently J.J. Abrams. I mean, I'm sure it was various
Yeah,
voices, but
like Bill Hader.
yeah.
Yeah.
Supposedly J.J. Abrams was Dio in the film, but
Sad. I mean, I can hear it.
whenever he had the helmet on, he sounded almost indistinguishable from regular Kylo
Yeah.
Ren.
Oh, yeah.
So
Which I mean, like once you add like
the
voice,
modulation.
like modulation, anyone could do.
Well, it's like Vader. Vader was really good. And
That guy, I recognize the voice. He's voiced him since like Force Unleashed.
Matt
I
Sloan?
think. Yes. Yeah.
I kind of
Yeah.
recognize
He does
his
a really good
name.
Vader. I mean, it's not as like
Yeah.
deep as
Yeah,
James Earl
James Earl
Jones, but it's still a very recognizable.
Yeah,
Vader.
no, it's definitely fine. I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I didn't. It's like one of those things that the first time you hear them talk, you're like, "Oh, that's not James Earl Jones," but then you get used to it, and he was pretty good.
Oh, shout out to this guy because he's in both movies we just watched. Eric Bauza. He did Luke Skywalker and the Stormtroopers.
Oh wow.
Oh,
He
good.
does Leonardo in our next.
That's right.
Yeah.
How about that?
So that's really funny.
Well, we're paying his rent today.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to that guy.
But as per I mean, it's obviously for children, which
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fault it for that because it was good for being a kids movie.
Oh yeah.
But it is full of the lessons that you want to have kids learn.
yeah.
Family during the holidays and
Not this year.
yeah, well, yeah. But learn from your mistakes and all that. The bond between I think that was pretty much the whole idea was like
yeah,
the bond
between master and
apprentice
yeah.
and just like that's the whole
Which you guys brought up, they showed Luke and Rey. It's like they're not friends.
Yeah.
Really.
yeah, through the movies I wouldn't consider them to be friends. Like they might have portrayed that in episode 9 a little bit, but I still don't see that
Yeah.
at all.
They portrayed it a little bit in episode 9 because they didn't know what else to do with them. They're just like, yeah.
I'm forgetting
I guess.
is it Life Day?
Yeah,
I said it before. It always like as soon as I say it, it's like gone from my
Yeah.
memory.
So yeah, I forget what I was gonna say.
Oh yeah, I made a joke when we first started watching this when they were like opening portals and everything and going to different timelines. And I was like, this is how they're gonna rewrite episode 9. And they almost do.
Yeah,
Because
pretty
we
much.
end up on Exegol.
Yeah.
Mike brought up a pretty decent point, though. I mean, obviously, if it wasn't taken for laughs, I'm sure that a lot of people would absolutely hate this idea. But if this plot was used as like the plot of episode 9, it'd be pretty interesting.
I would have loved it.
Because
Vader coming out of that portal and
igniting.
looking
At
Rey.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
No, like I
Imagine
actually
that
like
in
seeing
live-
that shot. That's what popped into my mind is what you're about to say. Is like imagining that shot in live action of her just like turning around, just hearing like and
Yeah,
seeing him.
that
standing
would be
there.
mind
I'd
blowing.
be like, oh my god, like what the hell is going on?
Yeah,
here?
but then people would be like, it's time travel in Star
I
Wars.
know.
it's been done though.
You-
It's been done. The world between worlds. It's been done.
Yeah, but
I get it. Like
No,
if
I
it was
know-
done in
it would-
Rebels,
it
and
would be-
mainstream audience would be like, "What the fuck?" You know?
Yeah.
Everyone
No,
would freak out.
people would have hated it probably even more than what they hate it now.
But It still would have been better than what we got.
It would have been at least very interesting. I mean, they wouldn't. Hopefully, they wouldn't have to jump all over the timeline like they did in this movie, because they did it for
honestly.
jokes in this, but
I would have just, if it would have just been Palpatine and Darth Vader coming, like somehow they find the crystal, or something, whatever trope you want to, or prop you want to throw in there. But
your MacGuffin.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of.
I'm just imagining like this, but done in live action, and it's Terminator,
Right?
It's just Terminator. Like it's literally like Rey is like in a corridor and a portal opens and in walks Vader, and then like young Luke comes out of like the other side and he's like, get down, and like just they have a lightsaber fight in this corridor.
Oh my god.
It just becomes Terminator.
I think that it would be really cool. I mean, obviously, if this were to happen in a live action movie, they probably wouldn't react this way. But Vader came through, and then they opened up another portal, and then they landed in Hoth, and then the Vader of that time came in, and they started fighting. They probably wouldn't fight in a live action battle, but could you imagine Darth Vader fighting Darth Vader?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they're
a
very
saber
powerful, evenly matched. Like,
Yeah.
It would be insane.
It would have probably collapsed the whole building.
Yeah.
Yeah, Echo Base would just blown up.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool to watch. That's someone's fan film, I'm sure.
It's
Somebody
not,
get
it's
on
not
that.
mine. It's being written in my head.
Somebody get on that.
But yeah, there was a lot of jokes. Like the point where there was like 3 Obi-Wans at one
And they all
Hello
go
there.
hello there to each other. Like they're all like listening to each other saying. Yeah, because we have Obi-Wan from Phantom Menace,
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones, and
And-
Episode 3 all
Yeah.
talking to each other.
And so episode 1, obviously no beard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then the only difference between the other two was like one was like a clean beard,
And then
and then the other one was like more scruffy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd think that in the episode 2 one, they'd have him have his mullet.
And they gave Anakin the wrong hair for Episode 2. And he also had the scar, which he didn't
Yeah.
have in 2.
Ah.
But I mean, like, I'm sure they were just like, hey, we're not making a new model. Like,
Yeah.
let's just reuse the
Yeah.
one that we already have.
Yeah.
But while Rey's having all of her hijinks, Poe and Finn and company, you're having...
Poe is crying
Yeah.
all
A
the
lot.
time.
And he's
Where
trying-
does that come from?
I don't know.
Like,
It's just a weird writing thing that
Yeah.
they put in there. And then they're trying to set up for Life Day.
I wonder if it started in 9. Because remember I said, I was like, watch Oscar Isaac when they come up over the hill for the
Yeah, he's,
Aki
like,
Aki
laughing.
Festival. And he's like half laughing and then he like tries to compose himself like for no reason. No one else is doing anything and he like walks up and just like starts laughing and then he goes, like it just, yeah, it's
I
weird.
never caught that.
No, yeah, it's weird.
Huh.
Maybe he was crying. Maybe that's where this stems from. Maybe
I
he
don't
was
know.
actually crying. I don't
It's
know.
kind of sad that
I don't remember him crying in the trilogy.
Rose
At all.
Tico is the only actual voice. I mean, aside from Billy D, but
And
he's not
Anthony
doing
Dick.
it.
And Anthony.
But yeah, it's kind of a sad thing because it's like
Sad.
she was so bullied by Star Wars fans. It's like, I'll do the Lego, and nobody else like comes back for it.
Yeah, she comes in. She walks into like the recording session, and she's expecting to see Daisy, John, Oscar. Nobody. It's just her. It's just her, and like
She
James
probably-
Arnold Taylor's like in the booth, like, hey.
Oh.
So that's just an
And
observation that I have.
And Dee Bradley,
Yeah,
because
and-
Dee just lives in the recording studio.
Yeah, obviously. I'm sure he has one in his house, considering how prolific of a voice actor he
Oh my
is.
God,
but-
yeah, he's like synonymous with any show. I mean, you say a character, and he's probably at least done something for it.
Yeah, most notably, animal sounds and baby crying.
Yeah, Appa.
Yeah.
And
He voiced
The
the frogs in the last 2 episodes
Yeah.
of The Mandalorian.
Oh.
Star Wars is just D. Bradley Baker stroking his own ego. let's just, modern Star Wars is just D. Bradley Baker
It's
stroking
him
his ego.
making animal sounds, and
Yeah.
I'm glad that he could make a career out of that. Because somebody has to.
Do you think that Dave Filoni, like how he sleeps, you know how like some people have to have a fan? Do you think he just like invites Dee into his house to make animal noises so that he can fall asleep and then he leaves?
He asked him to improv clones talking to each other. to go to sleep.
Oh my god.
Confirmed Dave Filoni listens to clone ASMR.
That'd be great.
All done by D. Bradley Baker.
Another gag that was really funny is every time that it cut to the second Death Star, there'd be a piece
A piece falling off of it, yeah, which was pretty great.
It's like you're in the middle of space, but there's pieces falling off.
Yeah, because you didn't notice it the first time, and I was laughing, and you're like, what? I was like, big chunk of the Death Star just like fell off. And then every subsequent shot was it losing some.
That also happened in Mandalorian episode 3.
Yeah.
Because he takes off from the planet and a piece falls off.
Oh, yeah.
And then when he jumps to hyperspace, the piece stays like...
Yeah, just
there was kind of a pretty grim joke in this. Whenever they invited Max Rebo to come and play music for them, they're like, I thought it was Max and the 7. Where are the other 7? Where are the other 6 people? And then he says something in an alien language. He goes, oh, my condolences.
Oh yeah, after they blew up Java's sailboat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he was on Java's sailboat.
Yeah.
Oh man, rip Max Rebo.
No, he's clearly alive.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right. Is this canon?
I don't know.
Are we counting this?
If it is, then
there's some messed up stuff.
Yeah.
If there is,
confirmed Finn is a Jedi in training, I guess.
Yeah, and Rey's a master.
Yeah. But I don't really have anything else to say about this except it's a fun time.
Yeah, I mean,
I give it like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
I mean, it's for children, and I can appreciate that it's good, even though it's for kids. So
yeah, it's a fun holiday special.
Yeah, sit down with the kids, watch it.
Someday it'll be with the likes of Rudolph and Elf.
I don't know about that.
Well, yeah, probably not. No. Nobody's sitting around on Christmas Eve going, let's watch the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special.
I mean, I might.
I'm watching Christmas Vacation, man.
Okay.
I'm not watching the Holiday Special.
I'll second Sean's 6 out of 10.
I would say third.
Okay.
Right.
Third 6 out of 10.
6
not
out of 10.
3. Not 3 out of 10.
I'm glad that we're in agreement.
But is it better than episode 9?
It's short and sweet too. It's only like 40 minutes long.
47.
So.
Did we enjoy this more than episode 9?
I'll shock you and say no.
What?
Yeah.
I might have enjoyed it more. I don't even know. I probably enjoyed them about the same. If I'm being totally honest with you.
I'm just still so disappointed.
I don't know. I mean, I agree that 9 is not good.
Weakest.
Definitely
might be the weakest of all the Star Wars.
No,
I don't think
2 is
that's
still
the case.
Really?
2.
I think 2 is certainly the worst.
Well, yeah. You're right.
So anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Moving on.
We had a recommendation for us this week by Mike.
I'm so glad that I picked this because apparently I really wanted to rewatch this because I was totally invested. Not that I had my doubts, but I didn't realize that I really wanted to watch this as much as I did.
That's like how I was with Blade Runner like a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so we got Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which after you watch it is kind of like
it's a bit of a misnomer.
Yeah, it's kind of a
akin to Batman versus Superman. But
yeah,
I will say this. I feel like there was more Batman versus the Ninja Turtles in this than there was Batman versus Superman.
No,
yeah, because
there
was a total of 5 minutes of Batman versus
Batman versus Superman
in that 2.5 hours.
I think what that title means is they're not in agreement, so they're versus each other for most of the movie. It's not really like fist fighting. But anyway, so I guess the basic plot of this movie is the Turtles follow Shredder in the Gotham City because they find out he's working with a mysterious entity. So Batman also notices these these places being hit up for specific parts for something. And so he's just trying to find out who. And he basically mistakes the turtles for the people hitting the places.
Yeah, the ninjas.
Yeah, and when in reality it's the Shredder, the Foot Clan, and we later find out that he's working with Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, I mean that's the basic.
Yeah.
So,
I really fucking enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, it was pretty
I
good.
was not expecting to enjoy it as much as I was. Like, I was kind of expecting it to be like childish jokes with like how the turtles. That's just my takeaway from how the turtles are. Is that how they've come to be anyway?
Yeah, and I'm sure the
It's more
Nickelodeon,
like kid friendly and all that.
I'm
because
sure
they
the
started out
Nickelodeon
really
logo
dark.
didn't help your.
Yeah, I mean, Nick can make mature things.
Yeah.
But I certainly wasn't expecting there to be, blood and like people dying in the first like 10 minutes of the movie. That was certainly
favorite
a
shot
from me.
is Shredder up in the window and he just throws a ninja star. It's that
Foot
It's
Clan
right
member.
in the skull.
Yeah, he
kills him.
straight up kills him.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. I mean, it kind of started whenever the turtles like threw some guy and he like bashed his head off of like a vent or whatever. I was like, yo! And then Raphael like kneed that dude in the face and it was like blood everywhere. I was like, holy shit!
Yeah,
this is real.
And they swear in it too.
Oh yeah,
a little bit.
Damn hell.
Yeah. I thought that it was really good. I don't know. The animation was amazing too.
Yeah,
like it's really good.
Yeah,
like it looks a lot like some really high end Nickelodeon stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say it almost looks like Bruce Timm stuff, but a little bit. I don't know, more colorful.
Yeah,
than his stuff. There's one scene that I can't get out of my head already. It was when Robin and Donatello are fighting on top of the pizza truck, and they're completely in silhouette. And it was like them fighting the Foot Clan. I guess they're mutants at that point, but they're fighting them, and it's completely in silhouette on top of the van. Yeah. That was awesome looking.
One thing that, as we were watching, we kind of had our minds blown collectively. Batman's voiced by Troy Baker.
not Kevin Conroy.
And not Kevin Conroy.
Like we thought from the get-go.
I mean, I watched this the whole way through originally when it first came out. I think it was 2018. I don't remember.
2019.
19.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know. I just had the random idea to look, and it was Troy Baker. Do we know Troy Baker?
He's pretty heavily involved in a lot of video games. So he's one of the bigger voice acting names in video games right now.
He is that the one you said was usually alongside Nolan North?
Yeah, he usually works up opposite Nolan North.
Holy shit!
And he voices the Joker in the Arkham Origin, I think it was.
Arkham Knight.
I don't think it's No, because Mark Hamill is Arkham Knight.
Oh, Mark Hamill.
Yeah, so it's
Well, he has a credit in Arkham Knight. I don't know what it is.
He might be the Arkham Knight, or he might be Firefly.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, he's very involved in the.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff. He does Joel from The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
Samuel Drake from Uncharted 4. I can't even remember who that is. Is that Nathan Drake's brother or something?
Probably.
I don't remember.
He plays.
Excuse me.
I can't remember which one plays which, but one of them plays I can't remember the character's name, but in Shadow of Mordor, one of them plays Celebrimbor, and the other guy plays I think his name's Taron or something like that.
Very recent credits are he's Simon Krieger. Yeah,
Simon Krieger
from the new Spider-Man Miles Morales game.
Okay.
Whoever, I don't know who that
he
character
plays
is.
Like a businessman.
Okay.
I think he's like a villain businessman.
This one I didn't know, obviously, because I'm new to this guy. But he did Bruce Banner in Marvel's Avengers.
Oh wow!
Like the recent game.
Oh, where it's their stunt doubles.
Yeah, like Spaceballs.
Yeah. No, yeah.
You got their stunt doubles.
You got their stunt doubles.
He voiced Batman in Lego Shazam, like the movie kind of thing.
Huh.
So he does a fantastic Batman and Joker.
He does a really very convincing Kevin Conroy impersonation. You can kind of tell he's trying to do a Mark Hamill impersonation.
And sometimes it comes across very...
It's not quite as good as his Conroy, but it's very good.
No, he's very good at Conroy, and he is
if he was only voicing Joker, if we didn't have that comparison, we'd probably be like, oh, he's really good at Joker. Like, it's just because he's so good as a Kevin Conroy replacement or whatever. I'm really mind blown that this guy was in both of these movies that we watched. The Eric Bauza, Bauza. I don't know how you say that, but
Tara Strong reprising her role as Harley Quinn for the millionth time.
Yep.
She'll play that role.
You guys called that before I even saw it.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys picked up on John
DiMaggio.
Yeah.
Actually, Mike, before you turned on the movie, you had it up on the Vudu and half the cast.
I did not see it though.
Half the cast was on there, and I was like, "Oh, John DiMaggio plays Mr. Freeze."
Oh, okay.
So I knew that.
I heard it when he turned into the polar bear.
When he turns into the polar bear, when you first see him, you can't tell.
Yeah.
It's just normal.
We should talk about the plot a little bit because it's pretty crazy. So obviously
it gets really weird at the end.
Roz is obviously trying to destroy Gotham, his normal bullshit.
Yeah.
And
his favorite pastime.
Yeah, and Shredder wants the secret of the Lazarus Pit. That's why they're working together. But so they're successfully hitting up these R&D places, and then Batman stops the Foot Clan the first time, which is their first run-in with the Turtles. But he's sending his device away so that the Foot Clan can't get it. But and the Foot Clan's plan, they know where it is, and they decide to send Batman and the Turtles on a wild goose chase to Arkham Asylum, where they give Joker a serum, the ooze serum, to turn them into mutant animals.
Yeah.
And they all of the Arkham inmates get turned into animals, which is, one, insane, but two, one of the most creative things I've probably ever seen done with a Batman storyline. It's kind of a little goofy, but I think that comes with the territory with having the Turtles on board.
Yeah.
Because it's you can't. I mean, you might be able to have this crazy dark Batman storyline with the Turtles, but it's nice to have a little bit of levity with the Joker's a snake and Two-Face is a leopard or a panther with literally two cat heads.
But where their heads meet, there's only one eye, so there's only three eyes on this body. It's pretty creepy. Yeah, he's really disturbing looking. But yeah, it was really interesting, and I have a new appreciation for the Turtles now. I think because they are pretty badass too. So being a Michelangelo fan pretty much my whole life. My God, did they have him just spot on? Because that's.
Oh yeah, I usually am extremely annoyed with Mikey.
He can be,
but
I thought the writing in this for Mikey was
pretty
amazing.
much all of the jokes are completely solid for me. The one that really got me, which it didn't seem to get you guys as bad as it got me, but whenever they go to Arkham Asylum and Batman splits everyone up, Robin, Raph, and Mikey are fighting Mr. Freeze, and they're like, oh, we can't beat him, so they decide to run away. And they're parkouring up the stairs. Raph and Robin parkour up the stairs, and Mikey's just running up the stairs. And he falls down. Holy shit, that was so fun. And
I laughed.
And it was intense music, and as soon as he goes, and falls over, the music just stops. Oh my God, it was so funny.
Yeah, there's great ones. The fact that he rides with Batman, and I mean, it's been a Michelangelo thing. In the second, going back to one of our previous recommendations by me, of course, in the second Ninja Turtle movie, where they go to it's named differently in there, TGRI. He just wants to touch everything. He's going around touching everything. So I love that they keep all those Michelangelo tropes.
Yeah, it's a little predictable what things they're gonna do. Like Batman tells Mikey not to touch any buttons, and then whenever they get touch the buttons.
Yeah,
and it's a little predictable, but it's also like really tightly written.
I would say that's the parts that are for kids, but at the same time, there's ninja stars being thrown into people's skulls.
Yeah,
I don't know, but
like even whenever they just offhandedly mention the blimps, it's like, oh yeah, that's a little joke at how Gotham is always portrayed with
that
these
took
blimps.
a while to pay off. Though.
Yeah, and then it has a payoff. Like it's not just a throwaway joke; it's a setup, and then like at the end of the movie,
the very end when you've already forgotten about the
line. It is like damn, like that's really tight. That's tight writing. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, you guys have already said for once, I'm the one sitting here going, like while you guys are just, and I'm going, yep.
I must say, it feels really good to know what character is who.
Oh yeah,
because I'm like, I don't know who the hell anybody is.
Yeah. I just can't get over how like original the idea is of this, like transforming the Arkham inmates into these monsters.
Yeah,
and it's kind of funny because Donnie and Barb made the anti-ooze, and then she's like constantly saying, "Don't say ooze because it's nasty." What she say, regen or something like that.
I forget what she says, but it's
and this is another case of where it's like Batman doesn't kill people. But the things that he does, they're either very injured or they're dead.
Or they kill themselves.
Yeah, it's an accident. Like Aaron, you mentioned whenever Robin threw like 20 of that vial into that T-Rex's mouth, and when he turns back into a human,
pretty much that whole sequence, like Batgirl's getting chased by the elephant guy, and and like she just lures them into pushing all the tanks together, and he just blows up.
Yeah, he's fucking dead.
Yeah,
you're not getting back from that.
Well, they didn't give that guy mutagen or anti-mutagen. Yeah.
I'm wondering what's the qualification to what animal you turn into, because
I was going to bring that up because depending on what version of the Turtles, live action or not live action, I think it was in the second live action with Michael Bay. He might not have been attached to it. I don't remember. Anyway, that line, it's like what animal is ancestral to you? Because apparently we have some kind of ancestral,
like a spirit animal, kind of.
It was something with genetics. I don't know. I don't know if we have like a genetic animal inside of us somehow, or if they just made that shit up for that movie.
I feel like they just made that up. That's just like,
I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
And animal ancestors, that's what it is. Put it in the script. Anyway, because some people...
Weinstein sitting behind the table, hashing his cigar with animal ancestors, put it in there.
But some people really lucked out, and some people just got like regular wolves and stuff. Like that dude got an elephant, and one dude got a fucking T-Rex.
Yeah.
Like holy he was just like a normal human, but he transformed into like a fucking 30 feet tall T-Rex.
Yeah.
That's probably an exaggeration, but...
And then he ended up with a stomach full of broken
glass
and needles.
Yeah, so he probably didn't make it out of that.
No, he is dead.
He's dead on the road.
The Arkham people make sense. Like their transformations, they make sense.
Well, that was
the exception of the Joker being a snake. That one
I didn't understand that one either, other than he's like snakes are
tricksters.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bane seemed a little odd.
Bane's didn't make sense either.
Bane's was
it was
odd.
just
unless it was something to do
like,
with he's a wrestler.
Yeah.
So he had the agility of
a cheetah.
I'm pretty sure it was the his stuffed animal too.
Oh, in the cell?
Yeah.
Maybe that.
Okay.
I remember the stuff.
I was also thinking maybe
what it was.
Maybe it was what his mask was too. I don't know.
Yeah. Because
a lot of lucha libre masks are like animals.
Yeah, they're big cats.
Yeah.
Usually. So that's at least what I
guess that makes sense.
Yeah, then that does make sense.
But yeah,
Joker's would be the only one that was like kind of like, huh?
Yeah,
but in that movie, like I've said, it was some genetic bullshit, and then the one that is like true, like has been for years. It's the last animal you touch. Like if I touch a cat and then touch the mutagen, that's what I turn into.
Probably because you have like some cat DNA.
Yeah, like you recently have the cat DNA.
Yeah,
but like Joker,
and the turtles.
You said about Joker, you were like, "Oh, he turned into a bat," which would have been actually cool.
It would have been.
Then Batman would have been literally facing his greatest nemesis as the animal that he fears the most.
Yeah, whenever he was whenever he was transforming, it showed the fangs, and I was like, oh, I don't know if he was a monstrously sized bat. You'd think that he'd have fangs like that.
Yeah,
and it makes sense.
Well, Batman when he turned into Batman.
Yeah, yeah,
as Mikey says.
Yeah, Batman. Yeah, we're in the Batman cave.
Batman cave. But yeah, that would have been cool if Joker.
You just remind me of another great Mikey scene. He puts the bat cowl on.
Oh yeah,
and he's sitting on top of the T-Rex, which also might have been foreshadowing for the T-Rex. But
actually, now that I think about it,
oh yeah.
I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not.
I'm curious. I didn't even make that connection.
Yeah. But anyway. Yeah, so the turtles originally turned into turtles because the last thing they touched was a human. And then somewhere along the way, because the last person they touched was oh my god, what's Splinter's actual name? I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
Anyway. They touched him as a human, but he didn't touch the turtles last, he touched a rat.
Okay.
So that's why they turned into what they turned into. But anyway.
Okay, interesting. I will say that, we brought up how violent it was. Even if it's not for children. Like that one moment where Shredder literally breaks Donnie's arm.
Oh, yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Was that Shredder or was it Roz who broke?
Oh, no, that was Roz.
Yeah, you're correct. It was Roz.
That
My
was
mistake. And one thing I feel like that wasn't paid off was Shredder doing his like chi move to attack Batman.
Yeah,
because they kind of set up that it's like if you fail, it can be just as devastating to the performer than the receiver.
You know what? Would have been super badass is if Batman, because he's a fucking ninja, learned that move because I think it was Leo said, only 2 people know that move.
Yeah, they did like the big like flashback to that, and then it was never paid off.
No.
Yeah, I feel like that was like one piece that was a little bit of a loose thread, but everything else was like super tight.
I feel like they were gonna do something with it and then just forgot about it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh wait, yeah.
But no, Batman,
they just
Batman should have used that.
Say Cowabunga and smash his face in with a shell.
Yeah.
Which was fine.
I feel like they were like watching the movie after they finished it and they're like, oh shit. Like we forgot.
I knew we forgot something.
We had to tie that knot. Shit.
That's okay.
It's okay because they opened it up for a sequel with Shredder falling into the
Joker
Ace
Shredder.
Chemicals and becoming Joker Shredder.
There's a post-credit scene taking a thing from Marvel. I didn't know that was there. We were just watching it because the credits had like cool comic books,
iconic covers redone with
both
and everything.
Yeah, there's turtle covers that had Batman in it and Batman covers with turtles in it. But yeah, their post-credit scene, Shredder, because he got thrown into the vat of acid or chemicals, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, as Barbara says, he fell into a vat of chemicals.
Yeah, and so Joker Shredder is a thing.
I mean,
and
I hope that this movie was successful so that they could make a sequel. That'd be really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit of the intrigue wouldn't be there because it wouldn't have the Batman and the turtles like testing each other a bit.
Yeah.
Like that wouldn't be there, but I'm sure it would still be good.
Yeah.
That I like that too, where they first encountered each other and they both thought that they were villains, so they fought each other.
Yeah.
Which is one thing that I brought up while watching, they were holding their own against Batman, and then they were probably just underestimated Robin, but they were getting like their ass kicked by Robin.
They were underestimating Robin, but at the same time, they knew Robin was a kid, so they're like, we're not gonna fight you. Like,
I was just like, he's just like smashing them, and then obviously they get the upper hand on him because he's just a kid. But
they literally, Mikey just sits on him.
Yeah. You'd think that Ross would say something about Damien too, considering he's his grandkid. Yeah. But that just connection was
not even talking about that
mentioned. Oh, whatever. I don't. We just
jumped
I
right
honestly
into
forgot about that until you just mentioned it. So
yeah,
maybe even the writers of this movie are like, "Oh, I guess."
I was totally expecting Ra's al Ghul to be involved, though. I think I said it whenever he showed up. I was like, "Yep, I was waiting for that one."
Yeah. Would have been funny if like Robin had done. I mean, it would have been a real like cringe joke. But like if he would have like come into contact with Roz like during the fighting and like tripped him up or something, and been like, "Too slow, Gramps," like as he ran past him or something, and like hardcore fans would be like, "Ha ha ha," because that's his grandpa.
I don't want to blow over this, even though we did, because it's the beginning of the movie. But Shredder fighting Batman in the beginning.
Oh yeah,
it just a great fight scene.
Yeah, it was very good.
Like, I mean, they fight more later, but I don't know. Just that initial fight was like.
I like that one part too during their second fight where he's like, "No tricks," and he cuts his utility belt off.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Fight me with all your martial arts that you have instead."
Ninja to ninja.
Yeah.
You know?
That was really cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
It was very good.
First time I watched it and it goes right into that Shredder versus Batman. I'm like, this is the fight I never knew I wanted. Like.
It's like him fighting Bane. He's a physical equal and bigger than him.
That's another great joke where he's like, "Didn't they tell you who I am? I'm the man who broke the bat." And then he tries to crack Donatello
he
over his
breaks
knee,
his knee,
but he hits him. He's got a shell, so he's just like, yeah.
Just a matter of evolution.
Yeah, I hope that it did well so that we can see more.
Yeah, I
really want to see more.
Financially, I don't know how it did, but I'm sure there's many 90s kids like I am, and this probably blew their minds just as much as me.
DC usually has really, I mean, I don't know if this is, I mean, I'm sure it's obviously affiliated with DC.
It's in conjunction
with but Nickelodeon obviously
DC
was.
and Nickelodeon.
Yeah. But DC's animated movies are usually like really good.
Oh, I've seen quite a few of them. Like there's
Hush.
Yeah.
Hush was really good.
I never really that's good. One I haven't seen.
Flashpoint.
Flashpoint's amazing.
Yeah, their animated stuff is like
that's where it is on them
every time.
Mm-hmm. Marvel's animated stuff is garbage.
Yeah, like DC makes some part,
with the exception of like Spider-Man TV shows, because those are cool.
DC, with a couple exceptions, their movies are subpar.
Mm-hmm.
Their animated stuff is fucking killer.
Yeah, their animated stuff is amazing.
Marvel animated subpar, movies pretty good. Like. That's
probably better than pretty good, actually.
Yeah,
for the most part.
I will tell you this: I like DC's animated stuff more than some Marvel movies.
Oh no, yeah.
So I won't say that Marvel movies are killer. There are a few standout, really, really good ones, but for the most part, they're good. I won't call them stellar or anything like that.
So I don't know if there's much else to say about this other than. Definitely watch it from me.
Yeah, I'd recommend it too.
Is that
it's another thing where it's
score,
like
definitely.
I approach this kind of the same way I saw like a lot of their animated stuff is great, but then I see things like Batman. I think it's called Batman Ninja or Samurai Batman or something.
Oh, Batman Ninja.
Yeah, and then I see that and I'm like, and then I see this and I'm like,
I bought that. I haven't watched it yet, but like. The characters look super weird, like Joker, Samurai is just, I don't know.
Yeah, but, I mean, I think by now they've proven themselves to be great with the animation department, so I'll have to check it out sometime.
Yeah, I mean, I have a whole stack up there that you can watch. They're all great. So I'll first, rated first, English.
First rate.
I want to give it a 10 out of 10, but I feel dirty doing that for some reason.
You should.
Just because I don't know if there's a such thing as a perfect movie.
You can hand out 10 out of 10s too, though.
I know. All right.
We're just chasing that dragon, man.
Yeah.
Trying to find that
Screw
10
it.
out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 10 out of 10.
There you go.
Yeah, I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Now, I would definitely go back and watch it another time too, because it's not super long either.
No,
it's not.
I think it's like 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's super, and it felt longer than it actually was, which I think is like usually that's a bad thing, but this was like I just wanted to see more. So
yeah.
So yeah, 8 out of 10.
7.5 out of 10. Very enjoyable. A lot of cool things that happened.
It's just two parts of my childhood just coming together in one singular point. No pun intended.
Was it a Godzilla singular point?
All right. Well, we will have another recommendation for you all next week by the hand of Aaron.
Oh, I have till next week?
No.
I really didn't think about
this
because I forgot that it was my recommendation. I was like, oh, I got time. Okay.
I could never remember the order.
Well, all right. I'm gonna toss this one out since we're gonna be getting into that time of the year.
Oh boy.
We're gonna watch a movie from 1988 by the title of Scrooged, starring Bill Murray.
Oh.
All right. I've never watched it in full.
I don't think I've seen the whole
this
thing.
movie. I love this movie. It's a Christmas staple for me.
I think I started watching it a couple years ago because I think it was on Netflix or something for a while.
Yeah, it was.
And I didn't get very far, but okay.
I think this is my dad's favorite Christmas movie.
It's a great movie. I love this movie.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be spoiled for Scrooged,
watch it on AMC because it's been on there for the last 3 days. So you won't be spoiled if you watch it and then tune in.
Make sure to watch it before our next podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed our conversation about Star Wars Mandalorian and the holiday special, as well as our discussion on Batman versus the Ninja Turtles. I know we had fun talking about them.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Life Day, everyone.
Cowabunga, dudes.
I'm vengeance.